Welcome to another episode of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, and I'm here to bring you all the latest news in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. It's Wednesday, June 24th, 2015, and let's get to it. Just in case you forgot who the hottest figure pro of the year has been, please allow Camala Rodriguez to remind you. After smoking the competition at both the Arnold Classic and Arnold Australia, Rodriguez has been laying low and reformulating her game plan. But with a little over 3 months to go until Olympia time, Rodriguez is back and ready for action. Last year, Camala had a disastrous performance on the Olympia stage that she'd soon forget. But after feeling the sting of defeat for one very long year, expect her to rebound in a major way and bring in the best version of Camala Rodriguez that we've seen to date. With 4 top 8 finishes and a convincing win under his belt, Brandon Cory has been quietly putting together a very nice year. Back at the last Olympia appearance in 2013, Cory had an extremely forgettable performance. But this time around, it looks like he's reaching deep into his bag of tricks to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself. Recently, the reigning Toronto Pro Champ released some footage from a leg training session where we see him busting out an old quad-killing staple, sissy squats. When it comes to Cory, it all boils down to one thing: conditioning. If he brings it to the Olympia, he'll probably find himself on the backside of the top 10. But if he leaves it at home again, he'll find himself in a familiar place, on the outside, looking in. We're just a few days away from adding a new IFBB Pro to the professional ranks when the Canadian Nationals get underway to decide who the biggest, baddest, and freakiest bodybuilder is north of the border. And they don't come bigger, badder, or freakier than super heavyweight powerhouse Hassan Jama. Jama released a few progress photos recently showing off his truly impressive proportions as he begins to enter into the final phases of his contest prep. Jama's Achilles heel has always been his persistent lack of conditioning, but if he can manage to buckle down and do the necessary suffering, he'll finally have a chance to kick in the door and earn the pro card that's managed to elude him for the last few years. It doesn't look like Cory Matthews has been missing many meals lately. After bringing his all-time best to the Arnold Classic earlier this year and finally nailing his conditioning, Matthews looks like he's spent the last few months devouring every muscle-building food in sight and has been spotted looking enormous as of late. When he puts it all together, Matthews has a good collection of parts that can make him plenty dangerous. But before he can be considered a serious threat for a top 5 spot on a major stage, he'll need to prove that he can do what it takes to come in absolutely peeled and show the judges everything that he's got at his best. We've heard quite a bit of chatter over the last few weeks about possible contenders for the overall crown at the upcoming USA Championships. But one name we haven't heard kicked around much is perennial super heavyweight contender Blair Mone. Over the weekend, Mone was spotted guest posing at the NPC Indiana, where he took the stage looking massive, much to the delight of everyone in attendance. Mone finished 3rd at last year's NPC Nationals, behind Alexis Rolone and Michael Lockett, but brought in what was arguably his best look ever. If he can find a way to dial up some of that magic once again, 5 weeks from today, he's going to make things very interesting at the top of the super heavyweight class. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark. Check out ironmaglabs.com today. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.